This is exploration at its finest. Stunning cloudscapes, beautiful alien horizons, deadly hostile planets. No Man's Sky then is truly unique when it comes to exploration and space games. And this, in large part, is due to the cadence of the gameplay, which leads to an almost zen-like flow of the travelling. Throughout my journeys within No Man's Sky then, I found this to be all important. The ability to seamlessly and very quickly travel between various locations. 1 minute you're in a world full of lava, the next you're in a lush forest. And in between these locations, a whole multitude of events can occur. Maybe you'll discover an abandoned alien settlement, explore a dig site for ancient artifacts, or even encountering in space a lost, abandoned freighter. Now there's many different forms that exploration can take in a video game. You can be exploring the lands and dungeons of Skyrim, or the vast barren planets of Elite Dangerous. Both of these are exceptional examples of great exploration-based games. However, none of them have the zen-like cadence of gameplay that No Man's Sky has. Of course, everyone who plays No Man's Sky is going to have a very different vision, a very different take on the game they're actually playing. For some people, it's going to be about harvesting and collecting resources. For others, building. And for others still, it's going to be about community and playing together. For me though, it's something different. It's about choosing a direction and flying, and seeing where that direction takes me. It's an essence of exploration that few games actually get correct. No Man's Sky not only delivers on this particular aspect, this particular essence, but also does so in abundance and very much in style. Now that said, I've got to admit to something here. This only really seems to apply when playing in creative mode. If you choose any other mode, such as normal mode or survival mode, then many of the game mechanics will get in the way of this peaceful flow in the travelling. That's not to say that you can't efficiently travel in these other game modes, of course you can. It's just simply pointing out that some of the game's core mechanics get in the way of peaceful travel. Naturally, some people will see creative mode as cheating. However, it has been added to the game as a central component. Ultimately then, it really comes down to what you want and how you want to achieve that. If you're anything like me and you simply like the zen-like piece of travelling from destination to destination, then really, creative mode is an awesome addition. Bottom line, it simply enhances the ability to smoothly travel from A to B. On that very subject of travelling then, different space games deal with this in different ways. Some are more realistic, some are fairly complicated. Others, like No Man's Sky, like to keep it simple. As I've said before, if you're looking for a hardcore space sim, hardcore flight mechanics, then No Man's Sky quite possibly isn't for you. To be perfectly clear here, it isn't simply a case that Hello Games have eschewed the idea of complex flight mechanics, it's that they've deliberately chosen a different option and one that works far better for the style of game they're aiming for. One moment you're walking around on the surface of a planet, next you jump up in a ship, travel just a few moments in space and land on the surface of another planet, and before much longer you're walking around the surface of an entirely different world. This flow of gameplay then, this cadence, is central to what makes No Man's Sky such an amazing exploration-based game. Moving beyond the gameplay though, any dedicated game explorer will tell you that it's not just down to mechanics, but also down to visuals and the type of content that you can actually see and discover. Now, No Man's Sky is perhaps a little bit divisive when it comes to this. The visuals, shall we say, are somewhat abstract and certainly a fair bit stylized. Whilst it's certainly not going to work for everyone, it does a very commendable job of achieving its goals. Sean Murray once told IGN that he wants gamers to feel as though they've stepped into the cover of an old sci-fi book. If you then happen to compare the graphics of No Man's Sky to these sci-fi books of old, well, it's hard to deny the inspiration. In fact, Hello Games have done a wonderful bang-up job here. For me then, as a slightly older gamer, and coming from the generation where these books were very much readily available and indeed a big part of my personal collection, then No Man's Sky just feels like a very natural fit. Many a times when I was a kid, I would dream of exploring inside these pieces of art. And now, today, thanks to No Man's Sky, it feels very much as though I can do just that. The point I'm trying to really drive home here then is that No Man's Sky is, well, not by any means the only space exploration game out there. It's also not necessarily the best exploration game out there, although it's certainly one of the best. What it comes down to then is there are different types of exploration, different types of goals and aims that any one player may want to achieve at any given moment. So if you're the type of player that loves peaceful, zen-like exploration and have a thing for old 70s and 80s sci-fi art, then in that case, exploration in No Man's Sky pretty much borders on perfection. Do let me know your thoughts and feelings on exploration in No Man's Sky in the comments section below. I'd love to hear from you. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.